Hey, I'm Geraint Davies, and this is your home for rugby coaching and analysis. The kickoff is a fascinating area of the game, and I love watching teams trying to manipulate and outfox each other. In this video, I'm going to explain some of the tactics used by a range of teams, and I'll focus on how the way a team kicks off can either benefit themselves, or how it can present opportunities for the opposition. Now, the area of the field that a team kicks to can be broadly split into three zones. Zone 1, highlighted in pink, is common for teams like Exeter, Leinster and New Zealand, and is overall marginally more popular than Zone 2, which is highlighted in red, which teams like Bath, the Dragons and Australia often favour. The centre field zone, option 3, is significantly less popular, much due to the potential risk of an error and indeed the favourable field position it presents to the opposition if they gain the ball. This restart from Italy, when they played France in the Autumn Nations Cup, is a rare example of a long centre-field kick-off, which could potentially present good counter-attack opportunities, as France have little option but to kick out immediately. Now, Italy would have been pretty pleased with their field position and opportunity to kick and put France under some pressure. However, their kick-chase strategy is questionable, and then some slightly dodgy tackling presents an opportunity for the wonderfully talented Terry Thomas to break through and score a try in the corner. You just can't give the French those opportunities. So let's take a look at some Zone 1 right side kickoffs. In this first example, Exeter kick about 20 metres infield and just outside the 22. Now, one of the benefits of this is that most scrum halves want to box kick from just inside their own 50-metre line, which helps them set a blindside chase and gives a good angle to keep the kick in the tram lines that hit the target zone. And for Exeter, this means they get to pressurise a second Gloucester ruck, increasing the chance of an error, a turnover or a penalty. And if none of those things happen, Exeter know that they're going to get the ball back from a box kick. And if the ball goes dead out of the line out, that means they get a throw in, or if it's kicked infield, they now get the ball in an attacking position. It's important to note that the whole kick-off setup needs careful planning to account for this. From the kick, Exeter keep back Stuart Hogg, as he's excellent under the high ball and can kick return. They keep Sam Simmons as a ball carrier, and they got Joe Simmons who they provide a kicking, running and passing option. The chase itself has left wing O'Flaherty on the edge, but he holds off the line, giving him the ability to come up if Gloucester attack, to cover the crossfield, or to drop back if Gloucester box kick. On the right hand side, we've got Woodburn and Munster flanking the forwards, creating a net to contain the Gloucester attack. As soon as the ball is caught by Gloucester, Woodburn swaps back onto the wing with Devoto pushing inside, and Munster retreats to the left edge, keeping the forwards in the centre field ready for the kick chase. A key benefit of kicking to the right side of the field to a right-footed scrum half is that, as we see with Exeter, they can pressurise the kick on the open side and focus on preparing for the kick receipt on the blind side. As we see with Woodburn here, he's already on his way back, pretty safe in the knowledge that few teams kick to compete until they reach near the 10-metre line. So when Hogg receives, he's got a number of teammate-shaped holes in the line, and indeed he's got plenty of kick, carry and pass options. But the best teams don't do the same thing too often, and in the second half against Gloucester, although now kicking to the right-hand side still, Simmons kicks about 5 metres shorter, and Woodburn now does a cracking job of pressurising the lifting pod, causing enough disruption to win a turnover. I'm a massive fan of the approach that Munster took in their kick-off strategy against Clermont. Notice all 15 players are in the line before he's kicked, which means it's difficult for Clermont to predict and plan their exit. Then, after 100 kicks, he drops back along with Mike Haley straight into a 13-2 defence, and that's all about focusing on pressure and encouraging Clermont to kick out. Now, unlike the Exeter example, the ball is kicked inside the 22 and 10 metres from touch, largely because Lopez is the preferred kicking option at 10. And we can also see the need for the Munster having 13 in the front line, with Clermont set up to enable the option of playing from deep or to go for the crossfield. Now it's all about pressurising the ruck, trying to destabilise the platform, and then set a chase line to put some pressure on Lopez, trying to cause an error from him. Notice the forwards chasing hard out of the line. Lopez kicks flat, and now look at the time that Haley has to get inside the opposition half and sets a good platform 35 or so metres away from the try line. And I love this cunning bit of play from Conor Murray, just winning a nice little penalty for Munster. Next up is one of my favourite approaches which Bristol use here. The setup is completely different to the others we've seen so far. Instead of having forwards chasing, Bristol have speedsters and aerialists, O'Connor and Ologo challenging for the ball, and open side Dan Thomas on hand as a jackal threat. While in the backfield, Mullins is set for a kick receipt on his own, while Sheedy shows incredible confidence his chasers will win the ball and stays in an attacking position, and as a result is able to link with Thomas, pushing the attack out to the edge. Now, What's more rare than a centre field kickoff? Kicks across the ground account for around 1% of restarts, and this beauty from Lloyd Evans is aimed at the space between players, with Harris and Ludlow primed to challenge on the ground. The fact that it's so rare causes enough confusion amongst Exeter forwards to cause a knock-on. However, it's a risky method. And in the second half, Lloyd Evans had the confidence to try it again, with the ball just slipping away from Captain Ludlow's grasp. Now let's take a look at Zone 2, left side kicks. Now left side restarts are not too tactically dissimilar to right side. However, sometimes it can be as simple as the fact that the scrum half doesn't like kicking off that side and tends to make more errors off there. Now in this example, Smith has kicked fairly close to the touchline, and that means the Quins can now play slightly more line speed on an open side chase. And they very nearly end up with an attacking line out with Machinot box kicking the ball just inches within the field. But some teams thrive in outfoxing their opponents, and Racing 92 are up there with the best there is. Notice the Quins chase the kickoff with Murley and Marchant on the ball and 6 forwards, leaving Lowe and Dombrand centre field, with Brown, Smith and Kerr set for another box kick receipt. Now although the kick is well placed, Bird takes it with an awesome pod lift, and from there Quins expect a kick exit or a phase in field followed by a kick. But instead, Machinot feeds Russell, who quickly sets Beale free, and his lovely outside shoulder attack and a glorious no-look pass is enough to force Ashton to jam in, and Simon Zebo is away, taking Racing 92 up to the Quins 22. And finally, we're back where we started. I love the way the Lopez fakes to go right as Clermont often do, but then kicks left, causing enough confusion to force an error for Munster, with Hilly and Coombs clashing and knocking the ball on. Now because Clermont have played this kick-off with the hope of retaining possession, Lopez is close enough to play to link and help set up a centre field ruck. It's then all about getting the ball out to the powerful runners, with Boselliato, who's able to use his pace and power to fend off Coombs and commits 3 defenders before giving this glorious offload to Raka to score. It's simply not possible to know exactly what's going to happen, but with a well thought out plan, players are able to adapt and use the foundation the plan gives them to gain a tactical advantage. Thanks for watching the video. Please do like, comment and share to help the channel grow, and I'll be sure to get back to you. You might also be interested in my Patreon, so please do have a look down in my description below. I've got all the details in there. It helps massively support my work and keeps me doing what I'm doing.